Catching Exceptions, and today I'm going to introduce you to a master of digital marketing and management, Amanda Shiga. So thank you for being here with me today. I know you're traveling and you're busy, so I appreciate you taking the time to sit with me. So let's start at the top. Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Ottawa, Ontario, which is the capital of Canada. And about 4 years ago, I moved to Toronto and learned that Ottawa gets a lot more snow than Toronto, but is also colder. So the commute is nicer in Toronto, but the skiing is better in Ottawa.
What's your favorite mountain?
On the East Coast, I really like Mont Tremblant. It's probably sort of the real mountain among the hills. I did go skiing out west one time, and it was awesome. It's no comparison, yeah.
Like a cliff to me, I don't know.
Pretty much. You basically, well, there's one run that's actually called Death on Arrival, and it has a warning sign that you will die if you try to do this run. So
Sounds safe.
Yeah, it's
Totally try it.
yeah.
So you grew up in Ottawa. What was it that actually got you started in programming?
Yeah, so when I was a kid in the 80s, my dad worked for IBM, and we had a lot of the early PC models at home. So we had a 286 and a 386. So my sister and I played on them, and we got to play amazing games, such as one that was an Olympics game that I remember. It seemed to be DOS-based or something. But there was a running track, and it was very pixelated. And your little running guy was just composed of he was an L shape, he was 3 pixels, and you made him run by hitting 2 keys really fast, and he would get stuck in the corners.
Atari, eat your heart out.
Something like that. And then in high school I took a programming course and ended up doing computer science in university.
So what was the language that you actually started with?
I would have done Visual Basic in high school, and then I do remember my very first Hello World. That was a big moment. And then in university, we started out with Turbo Pascal. Ooh.
Didn't make it.
Yeah.
So when you were in uni, you were studying computer science, and you got into, I noticed that your undergrad thesis was about DNA algorithm. What was that about?
Yeah, so that was very interesting. My professor who supervised me had actually been the one. He taught a 4th-year undergrad course on quantum computing, which was fascinating. So we kind of took it down a notch, and he was also doing some work in the area of DNA computers. So my thesis was that we could solve an NP-complete problem, in this case being the exact cover of a graph, using the massive parallelism offered by DNA. So the idea was that you sort of have this vat, and you could use the properties of DNA whereby the 4 nucleotides match to each other in a certain way. So by predetermining a pattern and mixing it together, you could come up with some sort of solution, brute force. We never had a chance to try it in real life, but the theory was sound.
There's still time.
There's still time, yeah.
So after that, you ended up still getting into more search and dealing with other big data. And all of this to me is related. So can you just tell me what it is that keeps you in it? What is it that keeps you interested in this?
Yeah, so for me, it's always been about how technology can make people's lives easier. And in my current job, it's all about how a platform like Sitecore, for example, can really make a content author's life easier or a marketer's life easier, and can bring some of these really neat cutting-edge techniques into their everyday life, everyday rhythm of running an on-site property. So for me, helping our clients do that and continuing to grow how we do that, bringing big data into the picture, making that much more accessible for marketing teams, as well as starting to borrow from other disciplines and recombining things in a really cool way, is really where my interest lies and what keeps me interested. Yeah.
And I know that for me, I find it hard to break away from work sometimes. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do to try to find some of that work-life balance?
Yeah, so recently I've really gotten into cycling, so road biking. I bought myself a snazzy new road bike. And along the north shore of Lake Ontario, there's some beautiful trails. So you can cycle about 60 minutes west out of downtown Toronto and get away from all the hustle and bustle. And at a certain point, you'll just have the lake on your left and the forest on your right, and it's just very peaceful. So that's really nice.
Find your center out in nature.
Exactly. And I'm also trying to get back into music a little bit. So I grew up playing the piano and keeping up a little repertoire on my digital piano. And it's really great for de-stressing.
Do Great Balls of Fire?
No, that's not on my repertoire. It's mostly classical, but I would love to branch out a bit. Yeah.
All right, and so that's all I've got for you. So this is your chance now to give your exception message to the community.
Okay, well, I would like to say a big hello to the Sitecore community. You guys are awesome. And I would also like to say, don't forget about the content authors when you are building your beautiful solutions.
They're going to love that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So that was Catching Exceptions, and you just met Amanda Shiga, Vice President of Digital and Nonlinear Creations. Next time you see me, we're going to be getting to know somebody else. Till then, hang loose.